morning, CBTV. It's Friday, and it's also game day. But we have, for this CBTV this morning, printing has gone a long way, and we'll cover how far it has actually gone. But nothing new. Let's get started with our weather. So today, yikes, it's gonna be toasty today. It's gonna be warm. Yikes. High, we got a high of 90, and our low is 66. Not quite to that 67 we had yesterday, but leaning more towards on our normal high is 87, and our normal low is 67. So our records in the year 2000 is 102, and our records for 1952 is 51. So looking good on that. Also, we do have a slight bit of rain today, so I will say maybe watch out for that. Maybe just a little bit of drizzles, but we're pretty good on that part. All right, let's swing it on by hour. We are looking pretty good. Just a little bit cloudy today. We'll be on and off on the clouds, but we're gonna swing off the day with starting at 68, moving more towards our 88 towards the middle of the day, and then cool back down to an 84 towards 8 p.m. So we're looking pretty good for today's weather. Let's swing it on by our allergy. Our allergy, we have grass and trees for extremely low, and our mold and weeds will be just fairly low. So again, allergies, like usual, are doing pretty good. Nothing too crazy. But our weekend. So yes, today we have our weekend forecast. As you can see here, it's going to be partially cloudy, but we also are going to range in between the lower 90s to actually the lower 80s as well. So we'll be in between those 80s to 90s. Sweet. So now we have our 7-day forecast. Friday and Saturday, it's going to be a little bit rainy. As you can tell, it was raining this morning, and we are going to have about 50% chance of rain tomorrow. But going on towards Sunday through Thursday, we are just going to be a little bit cloudy. And that being said, we're going to hover around lower to mid 80s in our temperature. And that's fine. That is A-okay with me. That sounds pretty good. But let's swing on by today's theme, shall we? So, yes, printing in general has came a long way. With that being said, we have went from block printing to paper copying, and now we are actually going to 3D printing. Not only are we 3D printing just random objects, three-dimensional objects, but we are actually being able to print out, this sounds scary, but human skin cells. We can print up to hearts, kidneys, and much more. For an example, if a poor person gets in a car wreck and they suffer some burns or something like that, they have damaged skin, they can actually print off more skin, which is crazy. But that is today's theme that we covered for printing. Let's swing it on by our sports. Our sports, today we are going for football. Today we're going for Hayesville, going against Hayesville. Today's theme for tonight's football game is camouflage. So, if you got any camo, I mean, we live in the South, I'd be surprised if you didn't. Come on, blend into the stands with the rest of us. I'm sure we're going to do great out there. It's going to be a fair game. Looking forward to it. But enough for football. Our golf, we are going against Flagstone September 11th. So those are our sports for today. Our lunch and breakfast. Today we have crispy toast, Chris something. I don't know how to pronounce it. I asked the lunch ladies, they're like crispy toast. So we're gonna have some guys crispy toast. But our breakfast for Monday will be bacon, egg, croissant. So just all those together sounds pretty good to me. more like a Starbucks, like the double smoked bacon cheddar and egg thing. That stuff is so I'm hoping it's close to that. But that's enough for lunch. Let's go on to our school announcements. Our beautiful school, look at that, don't mind the streaks. But but with that being said, our school announcements, we are doing fantastic. No news is good news, is what some say. And for as much as that goes, yeah, we are good on any school announcements. So, y'all know what tomorrow is? Y'all won't guess it. It's the weekend. So, let's get stoked. We are out of here for this week, coming towards the end of the day. Hoorah. But with all that being said, it is the end of CBTV for this week. I will catch y'all later.